Okay. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Won't you sing with me? Hinei ma tovu manayim sheverachim gam yachad. 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 Hinei ma tovu manayim sheverachim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom.
Good Shabbos.
Good Shabbos, good evening. Welcome to Congregation Dor Tamid in our Friday evening Kabbalat Shabbat worship service. It's good to see everyone here in the sanctuary, and I'd like to welcome all of you who are joining us virtually on Zoom, Facebook, YouTube, our website, however you are coming together tonight. As the psalm we just sang says, it is truly beautiful that all of us, whether in the sanctuary or in the virtual world, can be together as a community. This Shabbat we call Shabbat Zachor, the Shabbat of remembrance, so named because of the Torah portion that is added to the weekly reading on this Shabbat, immediately preceding Purim. And it brings to us recollections of, I'll do it one time, Haman. Maybe I need to do it twice. Haman. There we go. So getting ready for Wednesday.
They'll have practice.
Yes. So it will bring us recollections of our time in history where we were attacked, where we were at risk. But it also emphasizes the importance of memory. Not just at this time of year, not just as we enter into Purim on Wednesday night, but that Shabbat gives us this gift of memory. To remember that which happened in the past week. To dwell on it, to reflect on it, to grow from it. Shabbat gives us the opportunity to remember those who are in need of healing, to recall them, to name them, and to ask for God's healing presence to be with them for healing of body, spirit, and soul. And it allows us this Shabbat to remember those who are no longer with us. And we know there are those in the congregation tonight who are here saying Kaddish for a loved one as they walk through the valley of the shadow, being supported by their community. And among the many that we have listed for a yahrzeit on the anniversary of their passing, Sherry and Robin, we stand with each of you tonight as you walk this fresh valley together. Whatever our reason is for coming together tonight, it is Shabbat. It is this opportunity to rest and reflect and renew our souls and to enter into this day with a sense of joy. Joy that we get to one more time, one more week, experience this gift of Shabbat, this gift of time that we are given. So I invite you to join me in singing the words that say Shalom to this Shabbat.
Bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam chiri biri biri bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam. Shabbat Shalom,
Hey,
Shabbat Shalom,
Hey,
Shabbat 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 Shabbat. Okay, so that was like Shabbat Shalom. Hey, I know. Let's try a little bit more of a hey. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom. Hey, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat Shalom, hey, Shabbat 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 Shalom. Shabbat Shabbat, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shabbat, Shabbat Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat 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 Shalom. You want to try clapping on this part? It's okay. Bim bam bim 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 bam bim 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 bam chiri biri biri bim Bam, bim, 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 bam, bim, 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 bam.
As we do each week, we bring more light into the world as we enter into Shabbat. So I'm going to ask everyone now to turn in your prayer books to page 120. And to light our candles this week, I'm going to invite Audrey Capazzoli to come forward. And since Talia, you're joining us tonight, why don't you come and join your mom to light candles as well? Surprise.
She rolled her eyes at you.
I know.
And we sing together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu, lehatlik ner shel Shabbat. Page 125. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat, abide. Together, help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat, abide. We enter into our series of Psalms of Kabbalat Shabbat, our service for welcoming the Sabbath, on page 130. Echuneranena l'Adonai, Nariya letzor yishenu, Nekadma pana betoda, Bizmirot Nariya lo. Page 131. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along, all the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash, Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz, Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash.
The mystics of Tzfat taught that on every Erev Shabbat, on every Friday night, each one of us is accompanied by two angels. An angel of blessing and let's translate the Hebrew as a troublemaking angel. The angel of blessing, if upon coming to our homes with us on Erev Shabbat, sees the home in a good state with people getting along, with love and happiness and caring for one another, will say, may it be like this next Shabbat as well, to which the other angel is forced to say, Amen, may it be so. On the other hand, if there's fighting, if there's squabbling, if the house is a mess, the troublemaking angel will say, may it be like this next Shabbat as well. And the blessing angel says, Amen, may it be so. Our tradition is to welcome these angels, ask them to bless us as we bless them, and bid them farewell until next Shabbat with the singing of Shalom Aleichem on page 142.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem L'Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem L'Shalom, Malachei Ashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We turn now in our prayer books to page 144 for the words of the Chatzi Kaddish as we transition into Mariv, the evening service with the Shema and its blessings.
Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Be'alma divrach hirute v'yamnich malchute. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayetechol beit Yisrael. Bagala, bagala, uvizman kariv, immeru, amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevarach, le'alam ulal me'al maya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, Ve'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shemei kudisha berichu, le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, na'amiran be'alma, v'immeru, amen. Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Barechu et Adonai Amvorach. Baruch Adonai Amvorach Le'olam va'ed, Le'olam va'ed. Yalalai lai lai, yalalai lai lai, yalalai lai lai, yalalai lai lai. Yalla lai lai lai, yalla lai lai lai. Am I awake? Am I prepared?
Please be seated. This is an hour of change. Within it we stand uncertain on the border of light. Shall we draw back or cross over? Where shall our hearts turn? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? This is the hour of change, and within it we stand quietly on the border of light. What lies before us? Shall we draw back, my brother, my sister, or cross over? Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. This week we enter in our annual cycle of the Torah into the book of Vayikra, the book of Leviticus. And in the Torah, the word Vayikra, meaning "and God called," is written in a very special way, with a small aleph, the last letter being half the size of the ones that come before and after it. And the rabbis wonder why the aleph is half the size, why it doesn't stand up as tall as its brother and sister letters. And a story is told that when Moses was writing the Torah, God said the word should be Vayikra, and I call to you. And Moses says, no, it should be Vayikra with a hey, meaning God calls to all of us. God calls to the community. And Moses and God disagreed and went back and forth, with Moses not wanting to take the credit due to his humility, that it shouldn't be about him. But this aleph letter that God said must be there was written half the size to honor Moses' request that it shouldn't be only about him. And as we read the word Vayikra and God calls, the aleph is silent. The aleph beckons us into silence to hear the call of God. So we close our eyes and we listen for that call. We listen to the voice inside of us, the kol demama daka, the still small voice that each of us has within, and the voice crying out from the heavens, both of which calling out to each one of us, saying, "Hear, O Israel, listen up, you God wrestlers, those of you who struggle with my divinity, those of you who accept me. I am your God, I am one."
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Ve'avta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha, ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה, אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך. וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמת.
We turn now to page 157 as we read responsively. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth.
The high heavens declare your glory, the earth reveal your justice and love.
From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed.
Yai lai 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 lai.
Yai lai 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 lai.
Yai lai 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 lai.
Yai lai 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 lai.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha neder b'kodesh. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha neder b'kodesh. Norah oseh. Norah oseh fele Adonai imlok leolam va'ed. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Baruch Ata Adonai Ga'al Yisrael. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake in morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
Page 162. We turn now to these words from Torah that remind us that as we keep Shabbat, it will keep us as well and renew our souls.
Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Beini uvein b'nei Yisrael, oti leolam, oti leolam. Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim, Ve'et ha'aretz. Let's see if we can all clap. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam. U'vayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Ve'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat le'dorotam berit olam.
We turn now in our prayer books to page 164 for the tefillah, the central prayer section of our service. We will sing the opening psalm together that asks God to open our lips so that our mouths may declare God's praise. And then we continue in silence, using the words through page 181 as a guide, but also, and more importantly, the words that you hold in your hearts and minds. So I invite you, if you are able, to please rise for the tefillah.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Adonai sepatai tiftach ufi yagid ilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Page 178. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki ata o Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Ki ata o Melech Adon Lechol HaShalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov be'einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
We turn now in our prayer books to page 362 for Seder Kriyat HaTorah LeShabbat, our service for the reading of Torah on Shabbat. Please rise.
Ein kamocha va'Elohim Adonai v'ein kema'asecha Malchutecha malchut kol olamim u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'dor Adonai melech, Adonai malach Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai oz le'amo yitin Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom Av harachamim heitiva b'rtzonecha et Zion Nibnei chomot Yerushalayim Tibnei chomot Yerushalayim Ki v'cha levad batachnu Melech el ram v'nisadon olamim Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Ki mitzion tetzei Torah, Udivar Adonai mirushalayim, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch shenatan Torah, Torah, Le'amo Yisrael b'kdushato. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo, Gadlul Adonai Tiyun Romima Shemo Yaktav. Lecha Adonai Agedula v'Agivura v'Atiferet v'Anetzach v'Aod Ki kol b'shamayim uvaretz Ki kol b'shamayim uvaretz Lecha Adonai hamamlacha v'amit na'aseh lechol l'rosh Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu v'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omen. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omen. Al Torah v'al avodah, V'al gimilut chasadim, al Torah v'al avodah, v'al gimilut chasadim. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yomadu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yomadu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, lo yomadu od milchama. Lo yisagoy el goy cherev, Lo yomadu od milchama.
A Torah portion. There are two Torah portions for this Shabbat. As I mentioned earlier in the service, there it is. This week is called Parshat Zachor. Our first Torah portion is the weekly Parsha from the book of Leviticus, chapter 1. of which we're not going to be reading tonight, but instead we're going to be reading from Deuteronomy at the end of what would normally be Parshat Ki Tetzei, this section that we call Parshat Zachor, this section of remembrance. And why is it read tonight on this Shabbat immediately preceding Purim? I'm going to give you a pass from booing because I'm going to say the name a few times. On Purim, we read all about in Megillat Esther of Haman, who we are told is Haman ben Hamadadata Ha'agagi, Haman the Agagite. And this portion that we read tells us to remember Amalek, the evil nation that attacked us unprovoked, that as we were leaving Egypt heading to Sinai, attacked us not in the front where our army was, not where our soldiers were, but attacked from the rear where the women, the children, the orphan and the widow, the sick and the infirmed were, attacked our weakest point. And so the Torah tells us, Zachor et asher asa lecha Amalek. Remember Amalek. Remember what Amalek did to you. Which we'll read in a moment. Amalek had a descendant, Agag, who had a descendant, Haman. Therefore, the connection of reading this portion, this Shabbat. But as we read it, it is a parsha that year after year brings up a number of questions. The Torah portion says, Zachor et asher asa lecha Amalek b'derech b'tzeitchem miMitzrayim. Remember what Amalek did to you as you were going forth from Egypt. It then tells us to blot out the memory of Amalek from under heaven, and finally tells us, Lo tishkach, don't forget. We remember, we blot out the memory, we're not to forget. 3 mitzvot, 3 commandments that are seemingly in opposition to one another. But the Torah tells us to remember, to blot out the memory. Make sure you do what is necessary to blot out the memory. And how do we do that? Not by forgetting what happened in the past, not by forgetting the evil done to us by Amalek, but by ensuring that it doesn't happen again. Our tradition has come to name anyone who has done great harm to the Jewish people as Amalek. The Inquisition was Amalek. Haman was Amalek. Hitler was Amalek. But in a broader sense, we can see Amalek as evil in the world. Those who would wish to do harm to those less fortunate, weaker than. And so it is incumbent on us, as we remember this Shabbat, as we remember on Wednesday night on Purim, to blot out that memory, to do everything we can to make sure that evil does not exist and cannot exist in this world, that we bring goodness and light to creation, to blot out the memory of evil. The rabbis teach that when the Mashiach comes, when the Messianic age arises and there is peace and wholeness in the world, all of our holidays, save one, will no longer need to be celebrated. And if you've paid any attention to the Jewish calendar, that's a lot of holidays. But save one, Purim. We're still to celebrate Purim because of this commandment. Because even after Mashiach comes, even after the Messianic age arrives and there is that peace and wholeness in the world, we are taught that we should never forget. That it is a sin to forget. Even then, we should always remember what Amalek and his descendants have done to us, have done to creation, to ensure it cannot, does not happen again. The blessing can be found on page 368. Please join me in blessing the Torah. Baruch hu et Adonai HaMorach, Baruch Adonai HaMorach le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato, Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah. Zachor et asher asa lecha Amalek b'derech b'tzeitchem miMitzrayim. Remember what Amalek did to you as you were on your way out from Egypt. Asher karcha b'derech v'yaznei v'cha kol nechashalim acharecha. V'ata ayef v'yagea v'lo yareh Elohim. How undeterred by fear of God, he attacked those who were behind you, the tired, the infirm, the weak, and the ill. And when God, Adonai your God, has delivered you from all of your enemies, misaviv, that surround you, be'eretz asher Adonai Elohecha noten lach, and you are in the land that God has promised to you, nachala l'rishta, that shall be for you a hereditary portion. Timche et zecher Amalek mitachat hashamayim. Do not blot out the memory of Amalek from under heaven. Lo tishkach, you shall not forget. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. With our hearts opened by words of Torah, we take a moment and think of those members of our community, our friends, our family, those in our immediate and broader circles who are in need of prayers of healing. This week, we think especially of Christy Moore, Renee Fahn, Susan Abrams, Yael Bat David Valea, Bev Mahone, Sylvia Kirsch, Alan Friedman, Sarah Kahn, Lee Silverstein, Jill Vantine, Eleanor Goodman, Yuli Makovich, Libby Routman, Laurel Phoenix, Marjorie Whitmore, Jerry Phillips, Claire Levin, Paul Kershon, Reva Fisher, Leslie Knight, Bert Singerman, Stephen Schiff, Mateo Velazquez, Dr. David Maisel, Max Jacobs, Kathy Waldner, Richard Zuspin, Christopher Denton, Jerry Gimple, and Phyllis Lapin. If you are thinking of someone who's in need of a prayer of healing, I invite you to share their name with the community as my eyes meet yours, or if you are joining us virtually, to add their name to the chat. We think of all of them and ask for God's healing presence to be with each of them, along with all those we hold in our hearts, all of those who are fighting illness of body, spirit, and soul. We ask God as well to be with victims of violence around the world, victims of pain and suffering. May they have healing of body, healing of soul. And we ask God also to watch out and care for those who care for the sick each day. May they be blessed with hope and health, love and support as we say, Baruch atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim. Blessed are you, God, who heals the sick. Together we say,
Amen.
Amen, page 371.
Mi sheberach avotenu mekor habracha le'imotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We turn back one page to page 370 as we rise to lift the Torah in Haggadah.
V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe b'fnei b'nei Yisrael al pi Adonai b'yad Moshe. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. La 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la.
We turn now to page 374 as we prepare to return the Torah to the Ark. Ya'alalu et Shem Adonai, ki nisgav shemo levado. Let us praise the name of Adonai, for God's name alone is exalted.
Odo al eretz v'shamayim, vayarem keren li'amot, hila lechol chasidav, livnei Yisrael am kirovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. It's chaim ilamachazikim va v'tomche ameushar deracheha darchei noam v'chol netivotea shalom. Hashivenu Adonai Elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem.
We remain standing as we turn to page 586 for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol, l'teit gidula liotzer bereshit, shehu notes shemayim v'yosed aretz, u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinat uzo begove meromim, u'Eloheinu enod. Vanachnu koreim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu v'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Oshemo, Oshemo, Oshemo echad. V'nemar v'haya Adonai.
Page 595. Yesh kochavim shoram magia arza. Rak ka'asher hem atzmam avdu ve'inam. There are stars up above, so far away. We only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. For the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. Our thoughts now turn to those who have departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. At this sacred moment of our Shabbat evening worship, we think longingly and lovingly of those taken from us both recently and at this season in years past. We are in a period of Shiva, the first 7 days since their funeral, of Charlene Kershaw and Arthur Meyer. We're in a period of Shloshim, the first 30 days since their funeral, of Barry Dabowski and Joel Cinco. And we mark the Yartzites, the anniversary of their passing on this Shabbat, of Steve Austin, David Murray Baker, Kenny Cohen, Bernard Kalman Friedman, Bernard Hoffman, Esther Kerbel, Bob Kraselsky, Helen Krepesman, Bessie Kurtz, Cheryl Rose, Marty Schindler, Geraldine Siegel, Anita Siegel, Kenny Weiner, Alexander Wolf, Janet Wolf, and Vincent William Levy. If you are remembering someone on this Shabbat, I invite you to share their name with the community as my eyes meet yours, or to add their name to the chat. Zikronam livracha. May all of their memories continue to always be a blessing. And may we take their memories into our hearts, linking them to the millions of our people who have no one to say Kaddish for them, and to the Shmei Rabbah, the great, holy, and awesome name of God that we praise now, rising as one community with the words of the Mourner's Kaddish on page 598. Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shmei Rabbah, v'alma divrach irutei v'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam l'amnei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei d'kudsha b'richu, La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort all the bereaved here and everywhere with the blessing of peace. Together we all say, Amen.
Ose shalom bimromav, uyase shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imeru amen.
Please be seated. Shabbos, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbos, good evening. Once again, welcome. It is wonderful to be here with all of you who are joining us online, and especially all of you, nice big group tonight, joining us tonight here in the sanctuary. Before we conclude our service with a closing song and Kiddush and Motzi and a benediction, a few brief announcements. Just a reminder that I was made sure to be reminded to tell everyone, set your clocks this weekend, tomorrow night. But then there is no Sunday school, so after the time change, you don't have to wake up for Sunday school this week, so it's good.
When are they going to get it so that we change the time at 3 o'clock on a Friday?
I don't know.
Don't you have some poll?
Yeah. So anyways, there is no Sunday school this weekend, but on Monday at 6:45 p.m., there will be Molly's Hebrew class will be meeting, which is the first in the Adult B'nai Mitzvah program. If you haven't yet signed up for it and you're interested, call one of the two of us or Molly after Shabbos. There is still time to enter into the program. I know some of you here are in it already, and we are so excited to work with you for an adult bat mitzvah celebration coming up next February. Then on Monday night, there's also a sisterhood board meeting. And on Wednesday, it is Erev Purim. Join us at 7 p.m. in costume here in the sanctuary for the CD Tonight show as we welcome in Purim with our Purim spiel and Megillah reading. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we hope to see you.
Best top 10 list ever.
So we hope to see you this Wednesday night. Thursday at 1 p.m., our knitting and crochet group will meet online, and at 7:30, our men's club cornhole league will meet. Then next Friday night, we have a very special Kabbalat Shabbat worship service. Not only is it March anniversary Shabbat, but it is a historic Shabbat. 100 years ago, on March 18th, 1922, Judith Kaplan became the first bat mitzvah celebrated. And so we will honor the 100th anniversary of bat mitzvah next Friday night during services. So what that means is if you have ever celebrated becoming a bat mitzvah here or anywhere else in the world, come next Friday night because you will be honored with an aliyah to bless the Torah. Ruthie is going to be reading Torah next Friday night. So please join us next week as we mark this significant Shabbat in the history of the Jewish people, especially the Jewish people in America. Next Saturday morning, we have Shabbat morning services at 10:30 a.m., and we will celebrate the bar mitzvah of Bryce Stabowski. And then on Sunday the 20th is our Purim Carnival from 10 till noon. Once again, come dressed in costume. Carnival, our 8th and 9th graders are going to be putting on a play to tell the story of Purim. We'll have a costume contest raising money for the Hunger Walk. And if that isn't enough to sell you, the Kona ice truck will be here. So Jason will explain it to you after the service, AJ. Just a final couple of thank yous this week. Thank you to our 7th grade class, religious school class, for all the work they did beautifying CDT this past week, staining our fence, weeding around the campus, picking up garbage. The grounds looked so much better Monday morning thanks to all the hard work they all did last Sunday. And thank you also to everyone, all of the friends and family of Robin Jacober who sponsored tonight's Oneg Shabbat. I'm supposed to let you know that there will be servers, so please make sure the servers help you get the food so that we can stay as safe and healthy and not spreading anything as much as we can. Those are our announcements. And finally, our Caribbean Night Gala is coming up next month. You should have gotten an invitation this week. Sign up after Shabbos is over. We can't wait to see you there. It's going to be a lot of fun. There are a number of people in that part of the sanctuary who can answer any questions you have about the gala if you have them at the Oneg Shabbat. But in the meantime, we will conclude the service first with our closing song to get ready for Purim. It's not actually in the book, but if you don't know the words of the song, all you need to know is, "Oh, today will Mary, Mary be," and Nashtam Hamantashen.
And you're allowed to boot it Haman when it comes.
And let's stand up and sing it with energy.
Oh, once there was a wicked, wicked man, and Haman
And was
his name. Oh, he lied and lied about the Jews, though they were not to blame. And we sing, oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be, and not some Hamantashen. And Esther was a lovely queen of King Ahasuerus. When Haman said he'd hurt us all, oh my, how he did scare us. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be, and not some Hamantashen. Esther had a cousin and his name was Mordecai. Oh, he asked her, can you help us? And she said, of course I'll try. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be, and not some Hamantashen. When Esther speaking to the king of Haman's plot made mention, aha, said he, oh no he won't, I'll spoil his bad intention. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. And Nash some Hamantashen, in spite of Haman's awful plan and the scare he gave us. Esther was so brave and strong, she knew just how to save us. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. And Nash some Hamantashen. So Haman got his just deserts, and we had won the day. Oh, and Esther we will never forget. And on this day we say, oh, oh, today will Mary. It's all you guys.
Oh, today will Mary, Mary be.
Oh, today will Mary, Mary be. And Nash some Hamantashen.
Page 123. Baruch
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri agaved. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'yahava u'v'ratzon hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh b'reishit ki hu yom tehila l'mikra'ei kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim Kivanu v'acharta v'yotanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha b'yahava u'v'ratzon hinchalatanu Baruch atah Adonai mikadesh HaShabbat L'chaim.
And we uncover and
Unwrap.
open the challah as we sing.
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz, give thanks to God for bread. Our voices rise in song together as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz, b'tei avon.
Adonai ozle amo yitain. Adonai yivarech et amo v'et kol b'nei adam b'shalom. May God give strength to our people, and may God bless all of us, all Israel and all creation with the blessing of peace. As together we all say,
Amen.
Shabbat Shalom.
Good Shabbos.
Chag Sameach.